Hi everyone, I'm Sue Jankowski and you're watching PHTV Channel 4 Spotlight. Today's Spotlight is on Impact CCRN, College and Community Resource Network. Impact is an organization that assists high school students prepare for life after high school. And today we are lucky enough to have Latia Moore. Welcome, Latia.
Thank you.
She is the Impact Director of University Relations, and Connie Sims. Thank you for coming in, Connie.
Thank you, Sue.
With Bank Financial, she's a Senior Vice President and South Market Manager. So this is you're one of the sponsors of Impact, so thank you both for being here today.
Absolutely.
I think what's really great today is we're going to learn a lot about exactly what impact is, because it's something that we all really should know about. It's this great opportunity to get some services, possibly. So we're going to start talking about those services that Impact has to offer high school students and help them prepare for life after high school, which is a huge step for kids. You know, what am I going to do, life after high school? So what kinds of things do you do to prepare them?
Exactly. So what you just said was really paramount. It is a huge decision that students need to make. And it's not just on the student, it's also on the parent, as well as the educators. So in particular, Impact offers 3 specific things in an effort to help students prepare for and connect with college or career. The first thing we offer is an event in the actual high school during the school day. And that event is for junior level students. The second thing that we offer is scholarship money, which everybody loves to hear about money.
This is true.
Coming their way.
Scholarships.
And then the third thing we offer are the college and career journals. So students have a place to kind of write down their ideas about what it is that they want to do.
Okay, so you go in the junior year of high schools. So just to give us an idea, do the students sign up for this, or do their counselors or say you should do that, or how does that work?
That's an excellent question. So no, they don't sign up for it. What we do is go in and we talk to the administration beforehand and make sure that they are on board to allow all of their junior level students to participate in the event. So when we go into the high school, it's not 10 students that signed up or 15 students here or there. We talk to all the junior level students. And we do it in 2 settings. So it's a 2-hour event. And so they have 2 class periods, and it's usually an assembly hall because there's so many students.
Right.
So we have about, we can only hold their attention for so long.
Oh, that's so true.
So we have about 150 to 200 students in one setting, and then 150 to 200 students in the next setting. So we cover the same information in both sessions, and we cover the college selection, admissions, and financial aid process.
Okay, well that is a lot of information.
That
Is it then they get a journal, and I see you brought your journal with you.
Yes,
do
I
they get
did.
it then during that meeting?
Show the journal.
Yeah.
So it's a college and career journal that's being offered on Amazon. This is a new baby. So this just came about. It's about 4 weeks old. So they haven't had the opportunity to have it in the high schools yet, but we're looking forward to passing these out in high schools to junior level students when we go in.
Okay, how do you, just off the top of my head here, well, how do you find journaling to help them?
Actually, students, that's a really good question too. Students, when they go in to either talk to their parent about what they're going to do after high school, or when they go in to meet with their counselor, oftentimes they're kind of scattered and they're not sure exactly what it is they want to do. So having this journal and having the opportunity to kind of jot down and write down some things about, what it is that they like to do, there's a starting point for the counselor then to be able to say, okay, this is where we can start. This is what you like to do. Maybe this might be a career that you're interested in, or a college that, that might be a good fit for you. So it's really just an opportunity for them to get their thoughts in writing.
Yeah, and help them define, what do I like? And,
Exactly.
oh, I thought I liked this, but I'm not so keen on that now. So these times you go into the high school and meet with them, are these called summits, or are summits something different?
Actually, the summit used to be something different, so you're knocking on the door, on the right door. It used to be a college readiness summit at the Tinley Park Convention Center, and that's when we first met Bank Financial. We were telling them about the summits that we held each and every year during the summer for parents and for students, and it was a great event. COVID kind of stopped that, and we did the last event that we did it online. And then for this coming school year, we decided to merge the two instead of having the high school events and then the summit during the summer and trying to pull the students in during the summer, just merge the two lanes and call it a College Readiness Summit Tour. And so we actually take the summit into the high school, kind of like a tour. And we go to different high schools, Shepherd being one of them, that we go to every single year.
Okay, so you actually just go in, and is this sort of not like you do the same thing where they all go to the summit?
They all go.
Okay. Because, sometimes I think kids think, oh, I don't want to do that.
Right.
But actually, when they go, they're like,
They're
oh,
glad they did.
that was good.
Yeah,
I learned
exactly.
something. So it's
Exactly.
best to make it kind of, I hate to use the word mandatory, but make it more of a mandatory.
Right.
This is something that's going to
Right.
be good for you to learn.
Yeah, it's definitely not optional, and then you're going to hear from some of about our sponsors later, but we want to be able to let them know the numbers and how many students we're actually speaking to. And so that's one of the reasons. And then the other reason is what you just stated. We always have students in different categories. We have the top level student that's making a really high grades and all the colleges are after them. We have the middle level students that might be going to one of the state schools or going to a community college. And then we have the students that have no idea what they want to do. They might want to go into a career. They're just kind of, all over the place. And when we come in, this program is different because we don't come in and say, we just want to talk to your top level students. And that's an interesting, aspect because we could have done that. We just want to talk to this, type of student. No, we want to talk to everyone. And so wherever they are on the spectrum, we want to make sure they're motivated. We want to make sure that we're lighting the fire under those students that are at the bottom. And literally that's what we see happen. At Shepherd High School, we actually had a counselor come to us and say, when Impact left, we're only there for one day, but when you left, we had students running to the counseling department to talk to us for a meeting. And that
That's
didn't happen
fantastic.
before.
Yeah.
And I think the great thing about that is that, like you said, some students don't know what they want to do, and this will be the first opportunity they have to really think about it. Wow.
And that there
Maybe there are
is
some
something for
options
them
for
to
me.
do,
Exactly.
not just college. I think we talk college,
Good point.
but there's other things to do. So now you're offering careers, talking about careers outside of college now as well.
Right.
Because otherwise those kids graduate and they're like, well, what do I do?
Right.
And that's kind of leaves them at loose ends, and we don't want that. We want them to have a good career in something they find interesting that they can be successful at. So you're giving them some of these choices now.
Yes. One of the things that I tell every single student that we talk to is I'm a first generation college student. My mother didn't go to college. My father didn't go to college. And my father actually worked in heating, HVAC, heating and air conditioning. And he did very well with that. And so there are some things you can do. And you can see the students' faces light up. The ones that had their head, they're looking up now. Like, okay, you're not just here talking to students that are going to go the traditional route. You're interested in all of us. And you can see the spark come on. And so I like that. I like to share that story. But we also have impactccrn.com/pathways. And there are some programs on there, most of them free of charge for students, that they can find out about software development, carpentry. They can find out about medical billing, pharmacy technician, welding, some different types of programs that are available if they're not interested in going the traditional route.
And that is so important because not only do we need all those people right now
Yes,
who are
we do.
skilled at these things, and I think we're really kind of low on that, but this provides a really wonderful career for so many people and lucrative. It's not like
Yes.
it's badly paid. It's a nice career for people. They may not know about it, and
Right.
this gives them an opportunity to find out about that too. Okay, that is awesome. Okay, so now there's scholarships for the college-bound students, correct? So how do they find out about it? How do they, is there some kind of limitation? How do they qualify to get a scholarship?
So two things. I want to go to qualifications, but I also want to say that our commitment is to students. And so if they want to go to a 4-year school or a 2-year school, they can still apply for the scholarship. If they want to go into an accredited program, like one that I just talked about or one that they find on their own, as long as it's an accredited program, something that's legitimate that we can get behind, they can still apply for a scholarship. So
Okay,
we're still
so
going to-
outside of college.
outside of college.
Okay, they can go to carpentry, place
As-
where
as
they would be an
long as
intern, and
they're getting
that's fantastic.
credentials, correct?
Yeah,
correct.
because
And it's an
they
accredited
need help
program.
too.
They need help too,
right.
Yeah. And then the other thing I want to mention really quick before the scholarships, if that's okay,
Mm-hmm.
is I just want to give a shout out to our college affiliates. These are colleges that saw what we were doing and got behind us 100%. When we go into the high schools, we cover the college selection, admissions, and financial aid process. And for the admissions process, basically I cover the selection process, but for the admissions process, why not hear directly from the admissions representatives? So I have a list, Western Kentucky University, Lewis University, Governor State, Southern Illinois University, Carbondale, Western Michigan, Ferris State, in Grand Rapids, Michigan, just to name a few, have really got behind the program, and they come and they sit on a panel. So when we go in and talk to the students, we talk about the selection process, and then they talk about what it takes to get into their school. And some of them, which I didn't even know, some of them offer some of the programs that we're talking about. So they offer the welding, they offer, different
wow.
things that are available. So they mentioned that as well. And then the scholarships. One of the biggest reasons why students do not stay in post-secondary education is finances. And so we wanted to cut that off some type of way and help in some way. And so the only way that we thought would be the best would be to go to the community, because this is a program that's in the community, for the community, by the community. So go to the community and say, hey, will you offer a scholarship? Will you help a student that's already on their path? They're doing a good job. They're already applying for a school. Will you help them with either a scholarship for books, for housing, or tuition? The McCormick Scholarship is for books, and that's $500. The Selinsky is for housing, and that's $1,000. And then the Franklin Scholarship is for tuition, and that's $2,000. And so what we do, the process is they have to have a 2.75 GPA, and they have to write a 2-page essay on how they plan to give back to their community upon graduation. And so after they graduate from the program that they're going through or from the school that they're going to, and what they're doing now for their community. I would say the two winners from last year, the board picks the winners. The Impact Board actually looks through the scholarships, reads everything, and they pick the winners. One of the responses that we got back from the board was, we're happy to hear what it is that they plan to do, but really the ones that stood out to them were the ones that were already doing something in the community. You read the scholarships, right? They were already doing something, and they were showing, a pattern of behavior. This is what I want to do, given the opportunity after I graduate. And so those were the ones that really stood out.
So that those are really the go-getters. They've already thought about how they want to work things out. Good, excuse me. Okay, well that sounds like a great system.
And I would just like to add too, because we did the summit virtually last year, and all of the colleges were represented, and I did a workshop at the end, but I was able to listen to all of them, and I was just really impressed with how they made it be a much more simpler process than what I think some students, really feel like. And they gave their information where, reach out to me personally, and I will, have that conversation. And I thought that was so important. I was very, very impressed with how they handled that.
Okay, well, we want to talk about where does the money come from for scholarships, and how do you find the sponsors, and who are the sponsors to this? How do they begin to donate to this? So I know, Connie, you are from the Bank Financial, and you got involved in this. How did that happen? How did you become involved in this? And how is Bank Financial one of the sponsors?
Great. Well, excuse me. We are a community bank, and so we are very committed to making a difference in the communities that we serve. We like to work with organizations. We pick an organization every year that we would like to align with to do a project. College education is very important, so that is something that we definitely feel is important within the communities. it impacts the communities. It impacts the people that work there and the communities. So we looked for opportunities, and when we saw what impact CCRN was doing for high school students in our community with the college readiness programs, the student outreach, the scholarships, it was an easy decision that we wanted to become a part of that. We met at an event, and she started telling me, you know, and she was so passionate about it, and I was like, that's something I'm passionate about too. So we had a meeting, we talked about it, she sent the information. I took it to our marketing and board, and we were like, this is a great opportunity. So we were excited to be able to sponsor two $2,000 scholarships last year.
That's amazing and a great thing that the bank is doing. Excuse me. Okay, so beyond just the bank financial, what other revenue streams do you have for scholarships then?
So the scholarships in particular, we try to keep that in the realm of the community. So what comes, and it's interesting that I do need to say what comes in for the scholarship is for the scholarship. So Bank Financial, for example, did a $2,000 scholarship for one student, a $2,000 scholarship for the other student. The $2,000 went directly to the school. It didn't go to the student or to the parent. It went directly to the school. And then they sent us like a record. This went to the student's account. This is the information. And then we send it back to Bank Financial showing them. So everything is a very clean and very clear, concise process. But in addition to Bank Financial, Lexus of Orland Park has been a sponsor. Electrical Excel Technologies of Orland Park. Culver's Restaurant, actually, we have Jack Rush, who's a co-owner of some of the Culver's restaurants in the area. He is wonderful with giving to the community, and he actually sits on our board. And so Culver's Restaurant was responsible for a scholarship, and then Nothing But Cakes in Orland Park as well got involved. And so we really want to get the word out about what it is that we're doing, and then making sure that people know that this is an organization that you can trust. We're not even keeping anything for an administration fee. Like you give $2,000 for a scholarship, oh, we're going to keep a little bit and then give the rest to the student. No,
It all
everything
goes.
went to the student.
Yeah, that's
so
fantastic.
you know, and that wasn't the only sponsorship that they did. They also sponsored us going into the high schools, but those sponsorships that went directly for the scholarships went directly to the student.
So should someone be interested, they can be assured that that money is
Exactly.
going to the students, which is what they want. Well, Connie, also, I guess that the Bank Financial does some workshops for students as well.
We do.
So what kinds of workshops would they be doing?
Well, we actually do quite a number of workshops for budgeting for students. So our workshop for high school students focus on the fundamentals of money management, giving students tools that they can use way into adulthood. It covers how to create a personal budget, saving for the future, building credit, and includes step-by-step guides on how to get started. But we also have programs we do our programs in tiers. We do younger students, middle school students, and then the high schoolers. And then we also have an adult program workshop. So we are very committed to teaching people from the community about the importance of banking and savings, from the toddler up to, we have programs where we just teach them how to save, and we have coloring books, and we give $10 coupons to open up savings accounts for them to get them started with savings. And then with the mid-level students, the mid-school students, we do programs where we actually go into the schools as well, which I really love doing that. And we kind of make it fun. You know, we ask them, what is something you like to save for? They usually say a bike or, you know, something to do with their computers. And then we kind of make a game of it and say, okay, so what can you do to earn money to purchase that item that you want? And then they really get creative with what to do. And then with the high schoolers, you know, we ask them about, you know, first savings. Do you have a job? What do you think you're going to, you know, make on your job? And then it's, what goal do you have for that? And then it's teaching them how to save for those emergencies and things that they want to go to. We just got through with the prom season. Yeah. How would you save up for those things? So it's really very good. And then we teach them about credit. You know, a lot of them have not heard what credit is until we start talking about it, and the importance of having good credit going through high school, going through college, going through adulthood. So we find that very helpful. And then we also have programs for adults where we talk about, you know, the importance of savings, and then we talk about banking products, the importance of, you know, having a checking account, having a savings account, having an investment account, knowing what your credit is. So we take them through that whole realm.
That's awesome.
So it's very
I
exciting.
mean, that is so important, and I think a lot of young people and even adults don't really realize the importance of looking ahead, saving, having an outlet, having a plan for monies, and that is, I mean, at any age, that is a wonderful thing. Now, are these held also in the high schools, or are they held like at the bank? Where do these workshops take place?
That's a very good question. So we come to where you are, and we also offer some, you know, in our banking facilities. We've had some at libraries. I work with different school districts, or I come into their programs. I work with the Prairie Hill School District, and they have me come in and talk to their parents of preschoolers.
Oh, wow.
As part of their program at the end, they had me come in and do a financially literacy workshop with the adults. And they asked some really good questions. You know, you would be surprised at how many adults they messed up when they were in college. And it carried on into their adulthood. And so, you know, we work with them on how you can make that better. You know, we offer accounts for them where they can get started again. So,
And that's so important too, I think, even for young people coming out of college or in college, you're accruing, you know, so much debt, and then you got that credit card, and then that's getting out of control, and you end up leaving school with so much financial burden, and you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So this is a great education for them to find out what to do.
And oftentimes they're the target, right?
Correct.
So different credit cards they're getting a list of these students that are going to college, and
they go on campus.
they're
Or my
sending
daughter.
information, and then they're seeing a 0% interest rate for, you know, so long. But once that's over, then it's hiked up, and then they're in a bad spot. So I really enjoy you talking about the fact that you don't just work with high school students, but you start all the way over here. Because money management and having the right attitude towards money,
Starts early.
starts really young.
It really does, and that's great early education with that, with anything, but particularly money is really important. So now, impact right now. Are you kind of planning for next year, because this year's kind of over for school age kids, and you're planning for next year? When do things kind of start up again?
So the plan is already in place. I'm pleased to announce.
Good.
We didn't wait. So I can just kind of tell the dates if you don't
Sure,
mind.
yes.
So for the 2022-2023 academic school year, we actually have on October 13th, Thornton Fractional South High School. On November 22nd, we'll be at Bloom Trail High School. On December 8th, we'll be at Bloom High School. February 16th, it'll be Shepherd High School. April 6th, it'll be Hillcrest High School. And so this is the College and Career Readiness Summit Tour that we were talking about. The tour is going to these 5 different high schools. And then when we go, and, you know, the juniors from this year are applying for scholarships. Next year, there'll be a senior. So when we go in and talk to the juniors, we'll award one of the seniors the scholarship. And then whoever is, I know Bank Financial is going to be one of the sponsors, but whoever's the sponsor for that particular scholarship will be in the high school that day to award it to the student and take
That's
pictures.
exciting.
That is exciting.
Yeah, that's really exciting. Now, these summit tours, these take place during the school day?
During the school day.
Oh, okay, so they're there.
Yep.
And this will be the junior level for all of these. And these are the dates that you have set up. This is tremendous. So you're there actually pretty much all day, because you're bringing in.
It's a 2-hour event.
But isn't it more like
sometimes
groups
there's
of
two, yeah.
people? Yeah.
What do you mean?
I mean, like a group of kids come in, and then they leave, and another group comes in.
2 groups.
2 groups.
It's
Okay.
2 groups. So it's and I say 2 hours, but it's actually the class period. So 55 minutes or whatever
Okay.
that class period
Yeah,
is.
that's right.
So we're there for 2 class periods. And
Okay.
so the administrators, that's the time that they're allotted by Impact. So we're coming in, and the agreement is we're talking to all the juniors, and you have 2 class periods. So however you want to, break it up. And normally they do it before any lunchtime starts. So it's early in the morning from 8 to 9, 9 to 10, or 9 to 10, 10 to 11, something like that.
Yeah, they have a schedule they have to keep too. So you get in there and
Right,
get that
right.
done. After that, is there like I'm sure there must be a way that they can get a hold of you if they have any questions or they want to
Absolutely.
contact you and find out about workshops. How would they do that? I mean, is that given to them at that time?
So we have a website that we share with them, and we go over, the colleges are there, so they give all of their information, and just like when they were online, they say if you have any questions, even if you don't want to come necessarily to my school, I'm more than willing to be a resource for you. So the colleges that come are excellent, and then as well for Impact, if they're interested in getting in touch about a scholarship, we give them the information and make sure that they have everything for that. If they want to follow up, if their parent has a question, we give them the information for that. So everything is on the screen, and they just have to take advantage of it.
Okay.
And I will say as well, as being a sponsor last year, we were actually, we couldn't make the one here, but we did go to Hillcrest, so we were actually on site as well at the event.
At the event.
And
That's
so
nice.
we talked to some of the administrators, and they actually did, talk with us, and we're going to be doing some workshops. So we actually would be, the sponsor has the opportunity to be at these events as well.
That's really great because there's so often, like I said, the money issue is huge. And just deciding your career path, I mean, it seems like it encompasses a lot of questions that young people have about their future. So is there any other thing you want to talk about as far as like sponsorships? If someone viewing this thinks, you know what, you listed these great organizations and restaurants and things that will sponsor, but we have, I'm sure you would accept many other sponsors because the more
absolutely.
sponsors you get, the more
Absolutely.
opportunities kids
Right,
have to,
right.
get some funding.
Yeah.
So how would they go about being a sponsor?
First of all, you're great. Thank you so much for asking that. I really appreciate it.
And I will say, we look at it as a great investment in the future as a bank. So that's how people should look at being sponsorships. We're
Yeah,
making an
it
investment
is.
in the future.
Right.
We're excited about
Good
that.
idea.
So these are 5 schools. Our goal is to have more schools. And in order to do that, we need more sponsors to just come on board. We actually have schools that reach out to us, and we open the doors. If you're interested, definitely let us know. But we have pretty much like a waiting list of schools that are interested in being a part of the program, but we need additional funding.
Okay.
And so it's not just funding for the scholarships, it's funding for the entire program. So when, for example, Bank Financial is a sponsor, they didn't just sponsor and say $2,000 scholarship, $2,000 scholarship, okay, bye. They said we want to give to these students and for their financial future, but we also believe in your program. We just want to give to the program. And so that was really appreciated. Now, I'm not saying that the sponsor has to do that. If they come and they just want to buy a couple journals, I want to buy 10 journals. I saw the program and,
Something.
pass these out, at the high schools. We'll do that. So, like you said, it's something. So anything that they decide to do, and we realize we're not the only program. It's a lot of really great programs out there, and people are sponsoring and giving to other things. But if there's a tug on your heart when you see this and you're like, you know what, this is something that I want to be involved in, listen to that tug and get in touch with us. The website is impactccrn.com. That's IMPACTCCRN.com.
Okay.
And then they can get in touch with us that way.
Okay, well, we'll put that up on the screen too. I just think that, you have a very clear path of where that money goes. So that donation is going to the school and then directly to support that kid who's got that scholarship, and that's what people want to see. They want to help people, but they want to know it's going
Exactly.
to the school and it's going to help somebody.
Right.
So they can do that. And Bank Financial, it seems like it's in with both feet and really doing a great job helping and sponsoring and teaching and being part of the workshops and everything. So congratulations to Bank Financial for doing all that.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
Bank Financial.
Well, we really are passionate about it. Like I said, we are truly a community bank, and we do want to work in the community. I mean, and help the young people because they are our future.
Great.
They definitely are.
Anything else you want to bring up? Okay.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for being here today, both of you.
Thank you
And,
for the opportunity.
Well, I'm just really glad to spread good news like this, that kids are being looked after and there's great opportunities and great workshops and education, and I love the journal. So you can, after you watch the show and you see that website, you can focus in and maybe get your sponsorship going, or just be aware that these opportunities are available for kids at these high schools, and you can just remind your student to be looking for that and take advantage of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, thanks for watching us on Spotlight. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.